All right, one of the questions somebody asked, does it get overly hot? Okay, so I turned I turned it off at first, but I have the coolant visible tray turned on there in the dash, and so right, you can see there I'm right in the middle at 4 bars, and been riding pretty steady. Just got outside of town. It is it's kind of a typical early July day for South Carolina, so it's going to be in the mid 80s. I did hear one report of a guy and it was like 99 degrees. I think he was out in the southwest United States, and it was a really hot day, and he was in traffic, and it did overheat, and it actually kind of belched coolant, burned his leg a little bit. I've heard one report of that, and I've also heard a couple other people say, well, it just seems to run really hot. So I can't tell if it does run hot. I'm going to keep this on here the rest of the ride and see if it fluctuates up and down. That could be a bug that Triumph needs to work out, maybe with a temperature and thermal control software. A lot of people asked that one guy on the Triumph Trident USA riding group, face group, if the fan had turned on, and that seemed to be unclear whether the fan ever turned on. So I think it might be more of a software or some kind of mechanical issue. But it also sounded like Triumph was investigating and trying to do right by the guy and take care of it. So does it get hot? I've heard that question a couple of times, or does it run hot? And not that I know of, but it's also relative, because my Harley, it had the 114 Milwaukee 8 motor, this big motor, and when you sat at a light, especially in the summertime like this, it was like straddling a campfire. You know, all of that heat just came right up there, and you could really feel it. But that's an air-cooled or air and oil-cooled engine. Liquid-cooled engine like this, it should not run that hot, and the fan should rarely come on, but you should hear the fan come on when it does get too hot. My Street Twin, which was air and water cooled, because it did have the fins on the engine, and the air cooling did help a little bit. The fan would only come on if I was stuck at a long light in traffic on a hot day after riding for a little while. So no, I didn't really. I haven't heard the fan kick on this at all, which may be a good thing or a bad thing. If the fan control unit's not working and it's not turning on, then that's a bad thing. So it is, I guess, something worth just keeping an eye out for, or listening or near out for, to see what happens with that. Oh, okay. So after that little stop at that light, I did get in bar on the coolant, so it got a little hotter there. So I'll keep an eye on that again. See if it goes down after you get moving. And let's see, I'm cruising in 6th, doing 52 and a 55. There we go. Let's see if getting more air through the radiator, if that helps. But that's interesting. I had that turned off. I had that tray turned off when I first set up the bike, and I was like, I don't need to look at the coolant level. But then started getting a few questions and saw just one report about the bike overheating or almost overheating. That was a big bug. It could also be earlier on the ride, I was riding through a lot of shaded area and it was cooler. Now I'm more in the sun. I think the ambient air temperatures come up, the temperature of the highway and the road surface has come up a little bit, and that could be reflecting that. But that's interesting. Oh, there it goes back down after riding for a little while and putting some air through the radiator. Also get the question, can you tour run this? I just bought some, or can you put luggage on it, and how good is it for a long trip or a long ride? And again, that's kind of subjective. I think the bike will do 500 miles a day, 1,000 miles. The bike doesn't care. All that you keep gas in it, and the oil is topped up, and all the fluids are good, it will run forever. The weakest link is you. So if you want to tour on something, make sure it's comfortable for you. Now, that was the mistake I made on my Street Twin, is I tried to turn it into something that it was not, and then still got disappointed when I couldn't get it there after spending a lot of time and effort and parts. I put a lot of stuff on that bike to try and make it more comfortable, and it's a bike that's probably built for taller riders, I'm sorry, shorter riders. Alright, let me get through here. But anyway, on the Street Twin, I replaced the handlebar risers, raised the handlebars up a little bit, and then got a bench seat, and put T120 pegs and foot controls on there, just to give myself some more room, some more leg room. Put it up a little bit higher, and put a Dart Marlin screen on there, and then had 3 pieces of Kriega luggage. I had the US 20, and then I had the 2 saddlebags, and I was able to, it was good. I want to put the Alaskan butt pad on there too. And so that was good enough. Well, I wouldn't say good enough, but that got me from South Carolina to Oregon and back a few summers ago. It was a great trip. I love doing it. I want to do it again. But that is a long time to sit on a bike and to think about how you could be on something more comfortable. You're doing thousands of miles over 4, 5, 6 days. You're doing 500, 600, 7 miles a day. That's a long time to sit and think about how you could be on something more comfortable. How comfortable is this? I don't know. I haven't tried. I'm going to do some longer rides, but I'm not going to try and make the same mistake that I did last time and turn this into something that it's not, because you're going to be disappointed no matter what. And so, like on that long ride across country, you see the big Harley baggers, the road glides and the ultra glides. You see the big Gold Wings and the BMWs, and then you get it. You're like, oh, that's why people ride those things, because they're doing hundreds of miles a day. They're on the freeway. It's windy. There's trucks. Speaking of wind, you can tell it's getting a little louder here, right above 50. It seems like 50 miles per hour. That's when you get a little bit more wind noise coming in. And again, that's just clean air. That could be a little bit of disturbance from the GoPro, but I'm getting a little bit more noise coming in. I don't know how much is coming from the microphone is picking up, but anyway. So like I was saying about about trying to do long distances on this, it's up to you. But that would be my advice: is don't try to throw a bunch of parts at it, adjustable foot pegs and different handlebars and a big giant barn door windscreen or anything like that, because you're turning the bike into something that's not, and you're going to be disappointed. Now coming up, I did just order this morning. I ordered some probably suspiciously cheap, hey there Lake, suspiciously cheap saddlebag supports for like Bonneville style Triumphs, and I'm gonna try and modify those and put them and mount them like in the passenger peg screw holes, and see how that works. So I'm gonna try something out so I can reuse those Kriega waterproof saddlebags, and the way they mount is they just strap to the seat, and they have to run like through some kind of a bracket, through some kind of a saddlebag support or something like that. They don't really attach to it, but they do have a strap that goes through it, and it kind of all just cinches down. So I'm going to try that out and see how it works. And it's $50. If it doesn't work, it's not too bad. The other thing would be to try to fabricate, but I figured that would be better than spending a couple $100 just to get something, you know, like a Hepco Becker system, like the SIBO system or something like that. Even though I wasn't going to use that setup, I would just use the mounting bracket. So we'll see. So I'm going to try it out, but that would be my advice, is don't try to make this into some kind of long distance 500 miles at a time thing. Now I'm in a position where I'm about 200 miles from some of the best mountain roads in the country, in North Carolina, Blue Ridge Parkway, not too far from Tail of the Dragon, so within a day's ride. But would I try to ride 200 miles, you know, and then go ride the mountain roads and then go 200 miles back? No. I'm going to try and do like either some camping or some kind of you know, stay in a hotel, stay in a cabin, you know, so ride out there, have fun on some of the twisties, get a good night's sleep, ride some more twisties in the morning, and then ride back and split it up. I have no plans to take this across the country. I think I just decided if I'm going to do that again, and I think I would like to, is just get a bike that is actually designed to do that. This bike is designed to be fun and easy to ride. That does not mean that you go for 1,000 miles a day and try to do some kind of iron butt saddle sore 1,000. This is not the bike for that. If you want to be comfortable. Now, if you have a high threshold of pain and can tolerate a lot of discomfort, go for it. But that's the main thing with touring, is the bike doesn't care. You are the weakest link. I can't say that enough. The bike doesn't need to stop and take breaks. The bike just needs to stop and get gas. It does not need to stop and walk around and stretch its legs. But you do.